My name is Jessica and welcome to Makeup.misfit, and I am here with a very late update for #BeautyChest. Now, I was this close to not even sitting down to film an update for March whatsoever. To be honest, I didn't even think I had very much progress because I actually forgot about a couple of the products that I had pulled into this project and thought I had absolutely no use to even show you guys, so I didn't see the point. However, I have had a little bit of use. We are going to go over the products that I have been working on or not working on over the last few weeks and just chat a little bit about another reason as to why I kind of held off a little bit on actually filming this update. So let's just dive on into it, and we are going to start off, of course, with the product that has been in here for the longest. So a few months ago, I rolled in Holiday Release, and for that, it was something that was red, green, gold, or silver, and I decided to roll in my Gold Flake Holo Taco Topper, and I wanted to get 10 manicures out of this polish. Now, I believe I've had one more use on this since the last update, which I think might bring me to like 4 uses in total. I do plan on redoing my nails tonight, so I'm really hoping that I can actually reach for this polish. I have a couple of ideas in mind, so I may or may not actually reach for this polish tonight, but I do feel like I need to make more of an actual conscious effort to make sure I reach for this topper. There have been times where I've had it in mind that I was planning on it, and then one thing led to another, and I never ended up reaching for the topper, so I missed out on a few uses that I could have had. Tonight might be another one of those, but I would like to try and use this in some capacity with my next nail look, and if not this one, then hopefully the one after that. But if I could reach for this at least 2 times before the next update, then I feel like I'll be getting a little somewhere and reaching that 10 use mark just a little bit quicker. I don't mind if this is in here for a little while because it definitely already has been, but I don't want this to necessarily be in here for the rest of the project. However, this being a long haul product is probably going to be a thing. I don't like to force myself to use nail polish. So even though I haven't updated Project Panicure, that's basically what my like diary is for my nail usage and what I'm wearing, and I just kind of like to grab as I go and just what I feel. I haven't really felt this, but I do want to get some more use on it. So hopefully I can reach for this at least twice before the April update. So this is going to stick around for a little bit. Then last month, I rolled in 2 brand new prompts, and the first one was Makeup Fun, which was your smallest category. Now, I decided to go with something outside of my makeup, and I decided to pull in a perfume. Now, I have had a bunch of those little mini sample sized perfumes, but for full size bottles, I don't really have very many. Now, I decided to roll in one that I absolutely love and adore and would like to repurchase. My goal is to completely finish it off, and I rolled in the Clean Reserve Skin Perfume. Now, this is the Reserve line, and I just adore this scent so much. There's something about it that is just so sensual and sexy and addicting, and I just love this so much that I want this to be a staple in my collection. Now, with the Sephora sale coming around the corner in literally a couple of days, this is something that I'm debating purchasing now, or I might hold off and wait until the fall sale, but I will be for sure repurchasing this before the end of the year. Now, like I said, my goal was to completely finish this off, and I really didn't have a whole lot in here when I rolled this in last month, but this is where we are currently sitting at, and that's only a couple more sprays. So I am going to actually roll this out because this is going to be empty within the next couple of days or so. Sometimes I spray this on before I go to bed, so even if I do that, a couple of spritzes, this will be gone rather quickly, so there's no point in me holding on to this until the April update when I have a whole nother 4 weeks to go, and this is going to be gone within a couple of days. So this will be rolled out. It is a little bittersweet, but I am really excited to eventually repurchase another one, whether that is in a few days during the Sephora sale or at the end of the year during the Sephora sale in the fall time. So this is rolling out, which means I will be rolling something else in place of that later. Now, the other prompt that I rolled in last month was new brand, and that was the newest brand to your collection. And the newest brand to my collection was Gloss Gods. Now, I had this vintage glam palette in here for the month before for the prompt new collection, which was a product that you had never or your least used product. Because this was the newest one to my collection, this was obviously the never touched, the least used product in my collection eyeshadow wise. So this is what I pulled in, and I had the goal of reaching for every shade in here one time, which I completed, and I technically rolled this out last month, but then I decided to bring it back for the prompt new brand because it was the newest brand to my collection. Now, what my goal was to hit pan in the shade Oldest Stories. And I completely forgot that I even had this palette in this project. Not just this project, but just a project in general. It completely went to the wayside and I didn't even think about it. This palette came to mind shortly after I was deciding what I wanted to do with my panning solitaire project. Now, if you saw that update, it was more of a pause, a little finale for now. I will be bringing that project back. But I really was trying to figure out what I wanted to do because my teddy bear palette from Too Faced just wasn't really inspiring me and making me excited to use it. So I wanted to kind of roll that palette out, but I didn't know what I wanted to pull in place of it. Now, this palette did come to mind for a couple of reasons. One, it's brand new, so I thought that it would be so much fun to actually like hit the pans in here, take my time. It doesn't have to be a rushed project, but just to really get a feel for this palette a little bit more. Plus the layout is exactly what I need to be able to do panning solitaire. Now this is a 12 pan palette, so I have my single, my duo, and then my trio, and I would be able to do 2 full rounds of that project for this palette, and that is perfect. However, then I realized that I had this palette in this project and I wanted to hit pan in this shade right here. So if I kept this palette in for this project, hitting pan would defeat the purpose of having it in for panning solitaire because I need all 12 pans to have, or 12 shades to have no pan. So I've been going through my collection, trying to figure out what I want to do. The other reason why I was unsure if I wanted to pull this into panning solitaire, because as much as I think I would enjoy it, I don't believe it has the variety that I'm kind of looking for right now, which I did mention in that little finale video, that I feel like I just need something a little bit more than just the neutral palette that my teddy bear palette was. So I ultimately decided, like just today, that I'm going to keep this palette in this project. This is not going to be eligible for panning solitaire. However, in the future, this can be eligible for other projects. If I do happen to ever bring pan those eyeshadows back, I can make this eligible for that because it's only going to have 1 shade with pan in it. Or I can also bring it in for level up if I choose to do that next year with this palette. So I can still make sure that I get some really good love and progress on the palette as a whole. It does not have to be in panning solitaire. It's just the layout I thought was going to be perfect for it. And it is, but I have a couple of other things in mind that I'm trying to figure out right now for that project to be able to bring it back within probably the next couple of months or so. So I am going to keep this in for this project, and I am going to focus in on Oldest Stories and try to hit pan. Now, I am going to allow myself to keep this in here for as long as I need to. This project is over in September and it will restart in September once again. So I do have like 6 months, 5 months to be able to hit pan in Oldest Stories. Now I do have just the 1 single use on it from when it was in here, and I just had to use every shade 1 time. A couple of the shades I did use more than once, but I did happen to get rid of the little post-it note that I had on the back that was tracking the usage. But I know that Oldest Stories only had the 1. So I am curious to see what I'm going to be able to do and how long it's actually going to take, how many uses it's going to take to be able to hit pan in Oldest Stories. but I'm not going to force myself to use it if I'm really not feeling it. Now, I do have a lot of eyeshadows that I'm currently working on. I don't want to feel too overwhelmed, so I also don't want to force myself to use it in that case, but I can find ways to pair it with the eyeshadows that I'm currently focusing in on and ones that I will be focusing on in the future as well. So I am excited to really show this palette a little bit more love and eventually have pan in Ola stories, because I thought it was a beautiful shade when I wore it the one time that I did. I really enjoyed it, so I know I'm going to be happy and excited to reach for that shade when I so feel to. So this is going to be sticking around again for sure. Now, I already went ahead and rolled the next prompt that's coming in because, of course, once again, the phone that I use to randomize with you guys is dead. It needs to be charged. So I went ahead and downloaded the randomization app that I like to use onto this phone, and I randomized prompt number 11, and that is the Ulta Beauty 21 day sale. What is the actual? Yeah, the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty, and it's your most affordable. So I was taking a peek to see what I wanted to pull in for this prompt, and then I remembered that I just brought in a couple new things to my collection that I actually purchased at Winners, so I got them very deeply discounted, and I was so excited about it that I had to purchase them. Now, you guys may know that I have a few of the Kaja bento boxes, and I really do enjoy them. However, originally, when I bought the first two that I have, they were like $27 a piece. They jumped up to about $37. They're now sitting at about $35, but I had seen a couple of them at Winners and I had to pick them up. They were $9.99, so I knew that out of the ones that they had three. I already had one out of the three. I picked up the other two, and the one that I am pulling into this project I wanted for quite a while. And this is in the shade 16 Peach Madeline. So this one has, I don't think it's a glitter. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't actually swatched these either. But these are some really pretty shades that I think are going to be so easy to use. And I just want to be able to use all of the shades. Now, there is only 3, so I was thinking that trying to use them just one time each was going to be a little bit of a cop-out because it would be really, really easy to do so. So because there's 3 shades in this little stack, I want to use each shade 3 times. So that's going to be 3 very simple, easy looks. So there is a chance that I will be able to roll this out rather quickly and get my goal met on it and have something rolled in place of it for next month. But I'm also not going to force myself to do that either, because I do have stuff that I'm working on, my project level up and my pan that palette in order and stuff that I really want to make a priority. But I do think that because this is just a little stack, there is only 1 matte and 2 shimmers, so I'm going to be able to get some very quick one and done type of looks out of this, and I think that I'm really going to enjoy it. I'll probably use the matte shade in the crease and the outer corner, and then use the 2 shimmers on the lid and call it a day. Just do a very simple look. That's kind of where I'm at right now with my makeup. I'm actually not really wearing any eye makeup. A little bit today, but not too much. My eyes are kind of getting back to being a little weird. So I think if I was just to do something very light and easy and not too heavy, then that's kind of where I'm looking at right now, unfortunately, which means I'm hoping that some of my eye shadow progress does not dwindle down. But I think that this is a good way to be able to get those like 1 and done, 2 and done looks and still be light and pretty, but still have a little sparkle, and I'll have a little something going on my eyelids. So I'm excited because this is one that I have really wanted. Again, just got it the other day, so it has not been used, has not been swatched, and I'm really excited to actually get some use on this to see if it's just as good as I was expecting it to be, hoping it to be, and if I'm going to enjoy it as much as I enjoy the other couple ones that I have. So that is it for this update. Again, I apologize that it's a little late. However, I did decide that I should probably sit down, film with you guys, because I had more progress on this perfume than I thought I did. And then I was really trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my vintage glam palette, but ultimately, like I said, I will keep it in this project. I will exclude it from panning solitaire, but I can make it eligible for other projects next year or later this year, or we'll just have to see how things go. But for now, she is going to stay in here, and I would like to try and hit pan in the stories. So that is it. That is all. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really do truly appreciate it, and I appreciate you. And that is it for now. So I will see you guys all later. Bye.